All right, how's it going, everyone? My name's David. I'm with Claudia and
Jay?
Courtney and JJ. We're here talking about the socio-political economic state of the world right now. Nah, but for real, we're here to talk about our Do It Right project. Our topic is how economic status helps and gives us opportunities or doesn't give us opportunities in education. So to start, where would you guys see yourselves in the economic classes right now?
I would see myself. Oh, this is JJ. I would see myself in like middle class.
I'd
Middle
say
class?
middle class, not too high.
I'd say upper middle. For
Upper
me.
middle?
High.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we all have different.
You didn't let me answer.
I'm sorry.
Claudia would say lower middle class. That's how she grew up. Right now it'd probably be
Is that a medium?
low middle.
Yeah.
Like right
Before it was lower, now it's low middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
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 I mean,
made a little bread.
We all have very
Made a little.
different like
Lives.
perspectives on like what the classes are. Yeah, different lives
Obviously,
too.
we have different lives, Jay.
Well, you know what?
We have very different perspectives on what the concept of the middle class is.
Yeah, that was profound.
Yeah. As you can tell, Miss Hart, this is a very freelance podcast. We're gonna go with, however, we're gonna go with the flow.
Like right
But
now.
a question I do want to ask is, how do you guys think your class affects your opportunities in education?
I will say, like, if you come from a lower class, you tend to have like lower schools around you. So like education wise, like the school might not be as funded, so children might not get as good books or like good teachers. Because I grew up in DeKalb County, so we didn't have like the greatest books in the world. We didn't have the greatest field trips.
Mm-hmm.
I made it out though, guys.
I feel like it also goes down to bullying. Like, my little brother is currently getting bullied by a little kid named Jaden in his 4th period class because he doesn't have Jordans. And Jaden is telling him every day that he has Walmart shoes. And yes, he does. What about it?
Jaden
There's nothing
Nye.
wrong with Walmart.
But, yeah, so, like, why are you in 4th grade arguing about shoes? That's so ridiculous. So,
You don't even know your multiplication facts.
like, literally, it's so early, and to already see it happening,
It definitely starts at a
it's
very
ridiculous.
I think of it as like a race.
Why is it funny?
Is his trauma funny too?
Right. Is the trauma funny?
Jaden, we're coming for you, man. Count your days.
No, we're gonna be outside the school.
This little
3
light
o'clock.
skin.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I was saying was, I feel like all of it is like a race. So all of us are starting at the starting line, but then some of us can't start immediately because of a lot of obstacles in the way. That's the thing, and like, it connect. I just think it varies from one person. So like Jay may be like running like a 30-second start, while like maybe I'm like 5 minutes behind. I don't know.
I mean, Jay, speaking on that.
Yeah, you grew up rich.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Put that on the table.
You are in a higher economic status than most people in this room. So how would you think that affects your opportunities in going into college, because you are wanting to be a doctor, right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking it's more so. So I feel like the easiest way per se to get success and to get what you want, quote unquote, is through connections.
Mhm.
And money is a very surefoot way of getting connections, because the more money you have, the more conversations you can have with people that you need. The more conversations you can have with people that you need. And money breeds friendship with rich people, which breeds more connection that you have never thought of. So I think money really helps in getting people to befriend you.
How has money helped you personally?
So,
How's that full ride looking?
well,
really?
Okay, but no. But also, like, I also grew up in DeKalb, but the difference is I went to a private school.
Bars,
Oh, yeah, I went to an all black private school, and
That's
so
all black too.
and that's the thing with money, the different things you can do with money, and not to mention, even though I was going to a all black private school, it was still all black, so there were still times where we needed money, and my mom would literally give the school money, and so that would also help with my teachers, and my teachers would start to show more favoritism towards me, which would get me they'd like give me more opportunities to do things, which brings back to the money helps with connections.
Okay. I don't know. It feels like, have you because you want to be a doctor, right?
Yes.
Do you think that started from when you were a kid? Your parents pushed you to be there, or is it because you have the amount of money to be able to pursue that dream? Because
I think
medical
it's-
school is expensive.
It is, but I think it's both, to be honest. Because when I was little, I wanted to be like my dad, and my dad was in the army, so I wanted to be in the army. I wanted to be a soldier in the army. But my dad shot that down pretty quickly because he didn't want me getting killed or the risk of him losing his son. And then they started to push different career choices onto me, and we settled on me becoming a doctor. And another reason being is because yes, we do have that. We do have the money to get me to become a doctor. Also, there's plenty of people in my family that have almost become a doctor, and so they're kind of like my stepping stone so that I can become a doctor. For example, my sister is a doctor, but the way she got her doctorate degree is a little bit different than the way I'm going to get mine. She got hers after she was married and had kids. I'm going to try to go straight forward. And then my other sister is a PA. So we've always been in the medical field, and it's also a thing of since I'm black, I have to have a job that people need more so than people want in order for me to stay successful.
And on the complete opposite, I mean, my parents never pushed college. Neither of my parents went to college. It was just not, necessarily in the budget, I guess. My mom was never a studious kind of person, and my dad got a job immediately out of high school. And so they never really pushed college onto me, but they pushed studying habits, and were disappointed when I didn't necessarily take them because they knew if that was something that I wanted in the future, they were not going to be able to help me. Like, I mean, not to call you out, Jay, but I am 18 and looking for my own car. And like, with entirely my own money, I never had any handout. I bought my own phone when I was 16. I pay for it every month. I pay car insurance every month to use my dad's for right now. Like you said, I mean, it's just like
Calling you trash.
not trash, but it's just like a complete different, like, opposite of a kind of thing. And so because of like money issues, higher education was never really an option. And if it was gonna have to be full ride scholarships.
Okay. And so JJ, you want to be a vet, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to go to college for it, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna plan on taking out student loans, or because you're definitely starting off from a different starting point than Jay? How do you think that's gonna?
I will
compare?
say in a way I kind of am getting the Jay experience.
Yeah.
Because my dad was in the army, so
Okay.
he's paying for my college. I sound like Jay, but he is paying for my college, and he's paying for all 8 years of my college. So
That's not bad. That's really good.
Congratulations to him for having debt and not I.
All right. Courtney, what about you? You have plans for college?
Oh, definitely. My mom, she's like on board with it now, but I know I'm kind of following my older sister in the footsteps because I also wanted to do music like her. Only thing about it is when my older sister started doing it, she was kind of struggling a lot being on her own because when you're like an artist like that, most of it's like freelance. All getting where you need to go, getting in contact people, production. Make sure you have like nice outfits, all stuff. Trying to PR, all of that. That's up to you when you first start out. So, and then my sister at one point she was living in New York by herself. And like, she ain't got no money and picked the hardest city to, do business like that. And then like when COVID happened, my mom stressed out trying to make sure that she was like back here. And then she came to Georgia and was doing her music for a while. But now that's like taking its course now. She's actually doing really good now.
Okay.
So like when I came to my mom, it was like, I don't think I want to, because I actually used to want to do vet science as well. I want to be like, but I want to be a vet like Dr. Poe, like I'm shooting bison with tranquilizers and checking if they're pregnant. But I wanted to be like that. But I came to her and I was like, oh, I wouldn't want to do music. And she was like, oh, that's cool. But she's definitely more supportive because my sister already paved the way for me, like, stressing her out. But I definitely know that route is kind of going to be hard because I'm literally going to be a starving artist starting out. But I have my older sister to, like, help guide me. But definitely it is a little different because I don't have as much support. And on my dad isn't really supporting us right now other than what he has to pay.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the end of I'm gonna have to pay for everything myself. Like my family's pretty well off, but they're not gonna help me out with mostly any of my college. I am planning on going out of the country. Hopefully, that's the main goal.
Paris.
Yeah, Paris. It's actually cheaper to go to culinary school in Paris than it is to go here. Like backwater culinary schools here are more expensive than a fucking prestigious one over there in Paris. Oh. I'm gonna try to edit that out. Regardless, let's keep going. I'm probably gonna take out student loans. I want to do that as little as possible. There are some programs I'm looking into. There's one where it's only for like low income households, but I'm gonna see if I can apply for. It's basically like you work for a company, and they help you pay for most of your college for any college in the country.
Cool.
So if that is something that happens, I'll probably go to like culinary school in New York, the CIA, Culinary Institute of America. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be really hard. How would you guys like? I know you guys have solutions to getting through college or getting through your plans. Most of you guys. But how would you say for other people who aren't really like don't have the help that you guys have gotten? How would you think they should go about getting higher education?
Pray.
Oh yeah.
Do you think student loans is a big way to go?
Student loans is probably the worst way to go.
I don't.
If
trust
you know
student
how to
loans at all.
handle them.
Yeah.
Like, I know my mom's still paying for them. It's just like if you know how to do it right, then yeah. But I would try my hardest to avoid having to do that.
And last question before I wrap this up. Do you think more schools and more companies should give more opportunities like scholarship grants?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the ones that are like with like real benefits, I've seen a lot like Everest and places like that. They'll spend so much time with PR and stuff, and then when people actually sign up, it's like it kind of ends up kind of like a scam.
Yeah. A big problem with that though is a lot of people think that cheapening like prestige education kind of like takes away the value of the school, and it takes away like, oh, you're only going to be going because it's cheap, and like you're not really going to attend classes, you're not going to really try your best.
then they don't get the education. I don't think that has anything to do with the university, especially considering the fact that, you know, minimum wage is still really low and many incomes haven't increased even though prices everywhere have increased.
Mhm.
Like, it's getting to the point where the majority of people are below middle class,
And the
Yeah.
same
and they need to start catering to a wider variety of people.
Yeah.
same education that you want to get at Harvard, you can really get at a community college. Do your prerequisites
But the
there?
thing is, they're looking for that degree that
Right.
says it's from Harvard.
You could transfer, finish the last 2 years. But I know some people don't want to do that. You know, their pride and stuff. They really want to get in these Ivy Leagues. But the situation is not everybody can. And you know, and people try to make you feel bad for community, but it's not that bad. It's, not.
Right.
It's just cheaper and it's closer to home.
All right. Well,